Are we good? You sure? Cool. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. Again, I do apologize. I think last week we didn't do one. I have been extremely busy. It is the holidays. And on top of that, I've been working hard on the season finale, which I hope you guys are enjoying the little teaser trailer we got going on. So, unlike previous live streams, because the last few weeks we've been doing only mostly super chat questions, I want to make it up to you guys. You guys can answer questions and answers here, free will, whatever. I'll be answering them. A couple things though. No GVK questions because I'm going to keep a lot of what I have to say about the movie and the episode. I got to keep that completely a secret because there's a lot of big surprises on this episode. So I can't say exactly what goes down or what happens because I want to say I'm pretty much pulling a No Way Home here. I'm pulling a No Way Home where I'm not going to reveal a damn thing until it comes out or until I put out another trailer. So with that being said, I wouldn't advise any questions regarding what's gonna happen, what my opinions are. But you are welcome to come and say, "Hey, I'm looking forward to the finale." And you know, I will admit one thing is that I will apologize that this year we have been lacking on Kong reviews and Kong related content per se. That's because I just want to focus. I've been wanting to focus on other projects, on other ideas, and I even am doing the same next year. I've got a lot of projects planned next year. Hopefully, if this COVID thing calms down. Thankfully, Omicron, which sounds like a Decepticon. Everybody's made that joke, but the whole thing is like they're saying it's not as bad, so that's a good sign. So we are on the right track to better things in the future, and I have things I want to do definitely next year. Big projects, big events. There's a lot going down. In fact, I'm actually already prepping a bunch of videos for January. There's some January videos already ready to go. We're just holding them off, including we're going to be doing a couple things. There will be some reviews starting in January, though they're not going to be kind of like how you see them now. They're going to be the same reviews, but you'll see what I mean when it gets down that road, when we get to season 7. But season 6, the finale, is in the works, and it's doing really well. But other than that, yeah, it's just that. I do want to do, Jordan has a question here. Speaking of Kong, do you plan on making a video over the day of the 45th anniversary? I did already do a trailer, which I did on I was bored out of my mind. I thought I'd do a 45th anniversary trailer for you guys. But I do want to do a watch party with a couple people on the extended TV cut. That will be coming soon. Did I get a haircut? No, I've just actually put my hair back. I actually have to keep my hair on for continuity reasons. But actually, I'll say this. After this finale, this is coming off finally. I cannot do this beard anymore. I've tried it. I know a lot of people say it looks cool, but I just can't keep this up anymore. I want to get rid of this thing, and I want to get back to the clean shave, basically. So, yeah, let's just get to it. I'm here. I'm going to be here for the next hour because right after I do the stream, I actually have to take off out of town for a day or two. Family and stuff for Christmas is one thing, so I have to go up north. Second of all, tomorrow I got a dentist appointment. Oh, God, help me. Oh, God, I am so scared. I do not like the dentist. That's going to be fun. And no, it is not Steve Martin who's going to come in. But, yeah, so let's get to it. Let's answer some questions and let's see what's going on here. So let's see. This question's good. What is worse, the animated Titanic films or Titanic 2? At least the animated ones have some entertainment value. They aren't as, boring, blanded, bad. Titanic 2 has easily one of the worst one-liners I've ever heard in a motion picture. It makes every Batman and Robin one-liner look like the Avengers. It's the one where it's like they're saying, "Oh, the Titanic 2 is sinking," and then one guy turns to the camera and he's like, "It looks like history is repeating itself." Even just saying that line, I'm just like, ugh! I can't do it. I cannot do that. I cannot do Asylum. One day, if AVGN has LJN, mine is Asylum. I will discuss more down the line. I have plans for that company. How would you describe Sharon Lois and Bram? Dude, that was my childhood. That was like my baby childhood. That was like, they're local here, number one. Number two, like I grew up with that shit. I know there's only 2 of them left because the other one died about a decade ago. But I remember the elephant fuck and all that shit. But I actually, it's funny because I did talk about that series in my top 10 Christmas specials, or top 12. I can't remember, top 14. Can't remember. That was a long time ago. And part of me at some point, like, I know not this year, guys, but probably sometime down the road, I do want to do another Christmas episode because I do like doing those and discussing things I've forgotten about. One I want to do is on my favorite Nutcracker movies because I'm a fan of the Nutcracker. But yeah, at some point I do want to do something on that. Okay, I like this comment. Your hair, long hair, looks like Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think look, Trunks was a cool dude when he came out. Like, when Dragon Ball Z hit Toonami, I was there when the Frieza saga started. That was extremely epic as a kid. Then here comes this guy, this young kid who I swear to God at the time they were channeling Leo DiCaprio, even though this was pre-Leo's career. But I love it when he comes down to fight Frieza and he's just literally just standing there, just all serious, and he's just like, oh, I just love that shit. But yeah, Trunks is basically if Leonardo DiCaprio played Kyle Reese. Like, that's the best way I can describe Trunks. But actually, I want to say, speaking of Dragon Ball, there has been a huge debacle going on with Toei that I did bring up on social media, and I did present this on my wall. Let me just go to my Twitter for a second, find out where I mentioned this. There's a really big guy on what is it? On YouTube, Totally Not Mark. I want to give a major shout out to him because Totally Not Mark has been going through a major issue with Toei right now. They took down like 180 of his videos. YouTube is a huge mess right now in terms of like copyright when it comes to things with stuff from Japan. And I am there to support him as a fellow content creator who has talked about Dragon Ball related material. Not only is this really unfair to Mark, but this is also extremely concerning. So if you guys go on Twitter and follow me on Twitter, there's the hashtag #StopToei. Please do so. I think Toei is a good company, but they are abusing their power in this case, and they need to be called out on this bullshit because nobody should be going through that. And I mean, even I'm concerned about this. So there's that. Holy shit! The real McCoy donated $5. Thank you so much, man, for the super chat. Really appreciate that. He asked a question: what's one movie that that was great throughout, but had one scene that destroyed the rest of the narrative? Okay, this is a tough one. This is a very tough one. I mean, it depends. Like, I'm trying to think of a movie that the film was ruined by one scene. I mean, Power Rangers. I think the problem with Power Rangers is that the 2017 film is that you're making an adaptation of this popular franchise, and these fucks don't show up in full costume, ready for action, until the last 15 minutes. That is unacceptable. Especially, this is pretty much Zack Snyder's version of Day of the Dumpster. That's how I felt about the movie. It's like, it's just way too padded, way too long for adapting just one episode. They should have shown up halfway through the film. I just feel personally they should have been halfway through the film. Other than that, you know what? There's one I brought this up in my first season. Konga actually has that. Konga is a great movie without the title character. When it doesn't have the title character, if it's just Michael Goff doing his creepy science shit and trying to hit with this girl, it's a great suspenseful film. But when he turns into Kong size, it's ruined. The whole movie just kind of goes out the window, and it's ridiculous. So there's your answer to that. Again, thank you so much, Jay the Real McCoy. Really appreciate it. Go check out his channel. I'm sure you'd appreciate that. Yeah, Toei is worse than Toho for copyright strikes, because here's the thing on my end. I've never had a real issue with either Toho or Toei. I think it's because even though, like, I am getting up there, I am very mild about what I talk about. I don't talk about them all the time, and even so, the footage I use is so, like, trimmed together where it's not as easy to detect. And that's something I think a lot of people need to learn, is that you have to make them less detectable in terms of just the robots. Like, manually is a totally different beast. But AI wise, like robotic wise, that shit is easy to intercept essentially. So that is a big issue. Let's see. Oris is the God, which, by the way, guys, I want to give a major thank you to him for helping us monitor the chat and make sure there's no issues or anything, because we have been setting up rules on these. So really appreciate it, Orisis. I'm really glad you're going to take a chance to watch Gremlins, and it's easily a cute movie as well as Die Hard. Yeah, I'm going to watch a couple of Christmas movies this year. I don't know if I'm going to talk about them via opening night. I might just for shits and giggles, but they are on my to-do list for Christmas this year, because last year, funny enough, because the pandemic was so bad, like, it was really bad last year. I would say this year is a major improvement. I could not spend Christmas with my family last year because it was that bad. We were all under lockdown. We couldn't spend time together. So what did I do for Christmas? I went and got a roasted chicken. I couldn't do a turkey. They actually, my family, thankfully sent the gifts here, which was nice of them. But I ended up watching not just the Star Wars Holiday Special, which I do enjoy. I do like it. It's so bad it's good. But I watched Batman Returns Christmas Eve night, and it just set the mood perfectly. And I love the shit out of Batman Returns. So you want the best Christmas movie that wasn't intended to be a Christmas movie, watch Batman Returns. That is a treat and a half. Let's see. Jay McCoy. Okay, yeah, no worries, man. Tyler Fish asks, thoughts on Dragon Slayer? I have it. I just haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. I do know the effects by Phil Tippett are incredible, and I know Ian McDiarmid's in it. Palpatine, he's in the movie. I do need to get around to watching Dragon Slayer. Say BigJackFilms. Do you think there could be dinosaurs like Gorosaurus and a giant Triceratops on the Hollow Earth? I mean, there's always, like, the Hollow Earth after GBK has opened up the opportunities of what they could do with the Monsterverse. Would I like to see more Toho monsters? Absolutely. But do I think Toho's going to allow it? Not without a giant check from Warner Brothers. So I don't know what's going to happen on that end. If they decide to bring in Gorosaurus, that'd be amazing. Give a rival for Kong to fight in the Hollow Earth if it's not Godzilla, especially if it's a Tyrannosaurian. I don't know why I called it Tyrannosaurian. That just sounds fucking awesome. But yeah, that's just kind of where it's at. I'm good, Star Master. Good to see you. What was the best movie you have watched in 2021? I mean, it depends if it's a movie released in 2021 or a movie I've never seen in 2021. I'd say best movie of the year for me personally is Godzilla vs. Kong. Other than that, Space Jam 2 was pretty good. And I really liked Ghostbusters Afterlife, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Ghostbusters. Worst movie of the year by far is Cruella. Like, that was one of the worst mainstream movies I've ever seen. Is it Asylum bad? It's pretty tight. It's like, I think mainstream, it's the worst. But like Asylum, I think still tops them all as the worst thing I've ever seen. But I'll say this as a minor spoiler. If you guys are on Patreon, you already know this. But tomorrow I will say I am doing a Patreon requested opening night. And it's not a joyful one. I just want to give you guys a heads up. It's a pretty heavy topic to talk about. And it's one that I will never be discussing in terms of like rules, in terms of what I review again. But I'll just say I watched this one film a couple days ago for Patreon, and I'm still recovering from it. It is a very hard film to watch. I'll just say what it is. Do not guess it. But it's a film you would not expect me to talk about or probably even heard of. And when you hear about it, just ye be warned. This is a very traumatic film. Even for me, like as somebody who never experienced certain things, it's like, this is a very traumatizing film, and it's going to make you, I would not recommend it for people who don't like realistic shit in their movies. So there's that. Let's see. When am I going to do a crossover with you with the hardcore kid? I can't keep track. There's so many reviewers now in the reviewerverse, as they put it. I mean, I'm technically canon to that now. I don't know. I think there are a couple people I do want to work with personally and do crossovers with. I would love to do a crossover with Razorblade or Blade Razor. That guy is great. Him and I actually really became really good friends after we both released our Dragon Ball Evolution review at the same time, which was kind of an interesting coincidence. And him and I have been talking a lot about doing a co-review down the line. We just don't know when exactly. I have plans to do at some point like a 3 person, a triple reviewer on a certain film or online series, as I put it, and it's a crossover I want to do with Obscure Media TV, Bradley Dunn, and IndiFan of Fandemic. We want to do this as a three-way review, but at some point, that's something we want to work on as well. So there are people I do want to do crossovers with. Hardcore Kid, I'd have to look into what else he does. Again, I can't keep track of half of them. It's really hard to like narrow down the reviewerverse into like a giant galaxy. It's like the Star Wars planets. It's like, how many fucking planets are there? Exactly. So yeah, at some point I will do that. Let's see. Hey Jack, would you ever consider a crossover on Scribbles and Screen's YouTube channel talking about the Lost King Kong media? There are a couple people who have been doing these lost media things when it comes to film and canceled films, and I know a couple have been tinkering with the idea of doing something with Kong, and I know a few people who've actually reached out to them and said, hey, if you need somebody to talk to about this guy, look up BigJackFilms. He knows what to do. If they reach out to me, that's fantastic. Like, I would love to work with some of these guys. Oh, that's a great question. Dean Productions. Okay, I'll just say this. Have I ever watched South Park? I've been watching South Park since the beginning when it aired in 97. Even I was like 5 or 6, and I wasn't allowed to watch it, but I didn't give a fuck. This was like, South Park to me, out of all the animated shows on television, is probably the funniest, one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life. One of the funniest cartoons ever made. And every time they pump out a season, I mean, even if it's not necessarily funny, they are great stories. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched the post-pandemic special, but it was a very interesting concept that a lot of people never considered. What if these kids grew up? They pulled a hook on us. And I want to see what they do next with it, if they do anything with it. Because that is a good story arc. I want to see how they finish it. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't even know what their schedule's like with South Park anymore. Like, South Park seems to appear South Park is kind of like JonTron, where they appear every few months because they don't know what the hell to do. So it's very it's hard to know. I don't think they really do full seasons anymore. They just do specials. And it's because I think the pandemic and a lot of stuff the last few years have really changed their strategies and how South Park goes about things. So I love the shit out of South Park. Even the old episodes that are kind of outdated, I still think are pretty damn funny. If you want to know my favorite episode, it really is things like, a lot of it's in season 6. I love the Return of the Fellowship of the Ring. That's my favorite episode. I love the Black Friday trilogy. I love The Simpsons already did it. Free Hat, which took on like the whole Spielberg Lucas changing things with special editions. I love Cartoon Wars. Make Love Not Warcraft, I agree, is one of their best episodes. I wouldn't say it's number 1. There's a lot in South Park that I just really know. And to me, I'll say this too. South Park for me was my generation's Peanuts. It was my generation's Charlie Brown. Like, to me, it was just, it's an adult version of Charlie Brown is the best way I can describe South Park. It's pretty much that. So there's like every character, every kid has a personality, much like the Peanuts, you know, like every one of them. Like, to me, Butters is the equivalent of Linus, and then like Stan is the equivalent of Charlie Brown, and you know, and then you've got all these other characters. Like, they range in so many things. Like, like South Park's fantastic. Hey Kaiju Network, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Let's see, they pulled a hook on us. Yeah, exactly. Hey Jack, I'm making a King Kong movie and I'm almost done when it comes out. Do you plan to review in the future? Send it to me, Nobody123, and I'll take a look at it and see if it's review material. Because fan films, I know since my review and since my fan film saga came out, a lot of people have come up to me and said, hey, there's this one you missed and there's this one you saw. I plan to do something with a lot of the fan films I missed down the line. I just don't know when. Again, it all depends on, like, I think for me, because I've got 2 years worth of big productions that I want to kind of finish first, that have to get done because of just all the COVID shit. But there's a lot on the to-do list to do. I don't really have an Eric Cartman impression. I can't do it. The best person to talk to about that is Bradley Dunn of Obscure Media TV. There's that. Do you like the content you make for your channel? Yeah, like, it's, you know, it's a hobby that I've managed to turn into a job, and I absolutely love it. Like, even though the pay isn't the best in my opinion, I still enjoy doing the work that I love to do. It's not something I ever really take like, I don't really have an ego on, but at the same time, it's like, I'm really thankful that there is an audience for my work that people seem to really enjoy, you know, like, you guys seem to enjoy everything I put out, and even if something is kind of, for me, a dud, it's just good to work on them. So I really appreciate you guys, like, you know, sharing and liking and watching all my content. It's great. Let's see. Have I ever thought about covering the War of the Worlds adaptations? I've never really fully watched the original, and I've heard I've seen mostly bits and pieces of the Spielberg remake. But at the same time, it's a series of movies. It's kind of like The Day the Earth Stood Still, where there are a set of movies that it's going to take me a while to really get to, because Alien Invader movies outside of like E.T. and Close Encounters aren't really my strongest asset or interest. Like, I love aliens. I think aliens do exist, but the movies are very, there's so many of them, it's hard to really discuss one or two. Oh, Tyler Fish has a great question. What children's books should be adapted into films? I can actually answer that right away if they are here. It's a simple series of books that I did grow up with. I should do a book show and tell, because it's been a while. I don't know if you guys know of these books, but I read these in school, and I think these are ripe for adaptation. I know there's an anime. Apparently, there is an anime that exists, which I need to watch. But I heard Lionsgate got the rights to the books to make a film. Now, the question is, how are they going to execute it? Because 4 books equals 1 story arc. You guys remember these? Okay, so The Magic Treehouse by Mary Pope Osborne. These books are great. These books are freaking fantastic. They are ripe for film adaptation. Why the hell Hollywood has not adapted those books, especially after the Potter series, I have no idea. Like, I know there's an anime. I know Lionsgate has had the rights to the film adaptation, but nobody has thought to make this into a film. I don't understand. Even I thought, like, fuck, give it to me. I'll make it into a movie. I'll make it like a Harry Potter. I'll make it like a Chris Columbus, Steven Spielberg production. I'll make it really fun and dandy, great special effects. Like, that's what I would want to do. I would want to adapt those books. Essentially, like, they are perfect. Like, but yeah, exactly. D Productions. It'd be better than the fucking Clifford movie. I heard the Clifford movie was awful. Like, I heard it was really bad. He brings up this question. See, Clifford was a series of books I did read as a kid. They were okay. They were actually pretty good. But in terms of, like, all the cartoons and all that shit, not many people remember the cartoon that I kind of watched, mostly in school. I didn't watch any of the cartoons on television, but I remember there was one that was, like, a bit more educational, like, talking about rhyming and shapes and all, like, educational shit. But it easily had the best goddamn theme song in the whole fucking series, like, in all the Clifford stuff. So it's like, I'm waiting for that adaptation in terms of film. It was such a dumb, cheap cartoon, but I remember this, and I know it's like, and it's a more of an educational piece. It wasn't really necessarily a television series, but I mean, Clifford's okay. I mean, if you ask me if Clifford's a kaiju, maybe-ish. I don't know how, but he kind of is. But I don't see him being in the MonsterVerse anytime soon. So there's that. There's that. Yeah, live action movie is just a kaiju film for kids, according to Matthew B. Lamont. Actually, I will say this again. Big thank you to Matthew being on here, because again, I want to give him a plug here. His Kong documentary he put in for the last couple of years. Fantastic documentary in terms of research and stuff when I was doing my show. Definitely recommended it. If you want, Matthew, just later on in the stream, in the comments, just put in a link to your documentary. I think people would like it. Which, actually, speaking of, I wanted to bring this up for a while. I just keep forgetting to bring this up. But I just want to let my audience know that when it comes to Kong content, we're not done yet. We've got our season finale. Obviously, we got more episodes down the line to work and produce on. But I should let people know that on January 1st, 2022, I've been keeping this rather quiet, but, you know, the trailer's out and it's coming soon. January 1st, I'm going to be in a documentary. I was invited to a documentary on Kong, like a whole, like, history of the films and everything. It's called The Legend of King Kong. Yes, it does take a cue from the Universal production. but it's a independent documentary that I did an interview for that I am participating in, just to kind of talk about King Kong. But it's not just me who's going to be a part of this documentary. A lot of people who worked on the films are involved. Like, I think, who's the guy who played Joe Perko in 76? He was in Superman 2. I think he's in it. And I think a couple other people are in it. Although the funny story is, oh no, I'll explain the story. I'll explain the story of how I got involved in this documentary after it, my finale comes out and after the documentary comes out. But a lot of people are involved, including, I'm not kidding, the nephew, I think the great nephew or something, of Marion C. Cooper. So the creator of the original Kong. The estate is a part of this documentary, and that is a huge, even though I'm like participating in it, that's a huge leap forward when it comes to content in my eyes. Like, just being a part of a documentary that involves the Cooper estate, that's awesome. So it is out there on YouTube. It is on Instagram. Just look up the Legend of King Kong documentary. And I am in the trailer for like a brief second, like one frame, but I do really participate in this documentary. I'd recommend you guys definitely checking it out. It sounds like I'm really wanting to see the final results. The poster looks fantastic. I'll just say that. The poster looks great. And speaking of Kong books, documentaries and stuff, I know on Monstrosities, they have rubbed this book in my face, and I get completely pissed off because it was so fucking expensive. I see it online. But I finally picked this up. I picked up this. I finally got the World of Kong, Natural History of Skull Island book. I am really happy I obtained this. People ask me how I got it. It was actually at a thrift shop. It was at a Salvation Army thrift shop. And you want to know how much I paid? I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. I am really, really happy I've got this now. And it's a good book, by the way. And yes, Biden's source is in it. He is in it. So there's that. I'm really, really happy I got that. Let's see here. Oh, excuse me. Did you know about all engines go to Mark Foster's Thomas movie? Again, I know Thomas fans have been rather well behaved and not asking me too much, but I think it's funny because I'm doing these reaction videos and they're fun to do. And I'm going to do one more. It's probably going to come out in January, hopefully. I'm just going to get them done and over with. I do want to end it on a good note, but at the same time, I was thinking about this the other day. It's not on the playing tables. I should let you guys know right now. This is not on the to-do list. This is not on the schedule. But I am tinkering with the idea, the potential concept of maybe talking about Magic Railroad. Maybe. Not 100%, not confirming, not denying it. There is a potential because, I'm thinking about how I would go about discussing it, how I would go about visualizing it, how I would go about saying my perspective. And it's probably going to be the only time I discuss the series because, I don't know, I feel like I could maybe talk about something with it, do something with it, discuss where I came from it. It's a definite maybe. So no promises, no ifs, ands, or buts. Do not pester me on this. When is the Thomas Magic Railroad coming out? You confirmed it in your live stream. I said maybe. So just clearing that up. That's a possibility. I don't know yet. When, whenever, do not ask. Let's see here. Yeah, thank God. Yeah, that was really good. I found it. You see the poster for Sonic 2 yet? Also, the trailer's premiering tomorrow night. Nice! You know what's funny? I'm not the biggest Sonic fan. I have a Sega Genesis, but I got Moonwalker on here. Moonwalker's my favorite game on the Genesis. I've played some of the Sonic games, very briefly. I think mostly the first and second one. But I'm not hardcore into Sonic like everybody else is. I kind of was curious about the movie. I kind of missed out. Although Josh and Brad and a lot of them told me it was actually really good. So I do want to eventually watch it. Do I want to see the sequel? Maybe. I don't know. Sonic isn't really my thing. So perhaps I might go see the second one. I don't know yet. Let's see here. Yes, is that I enjoy Venom, Let There Be Carnage, but I hate this version of Carnage because he has a crush. I heard Carnage was wasted. It's funny because when the Raimi movies were coming out and Spider-Man 3 was on the way, I had heard that the original plan, like concept-wise and the studio-wise and even contract-wise, was that it wasn't just going to be Spider-Man 4, it was going to be Spider-Man 5. And what they were going to do was, I think they were either going to shoot them back to back, or they were actually going to just shoot them individually. And Spider-Man 4 would come out, and then Spider-Man 5 would actually be the final film that involved Carnage. And I think from what I heard, the Return of Venom, like that's what they were going to aim for Spider-Man 5. But those obviously didn't get off the ground. Although, I'll say this, with No Way Home coming out, I think there is a push, if this takes off and this does well, that Sony wants to do Spider-Man 4 for real. Like, they actually do want to do the Raimi Spider-Man 4, which I'm all for it. I'm all for Tobey Maguire coming back. Like, I really want to see that. Okay. Actually, this is an interesting thing for Tyler to ask. Why was the Trevor scene in your last reaction video cut out? So, it was in there, Tyler. It was in there. But guess what I found out when I checked the rendering and when I checked the footage and when it was all uploaded, ready to go? That portion froze up. Like, the footage got corrupted. And I had no way of retrieving it, which really sucks because I really wanted to see, I really wanted to like take a look at that. Like, I really wanted to show my reaction to that. And all I can say is I was just laughing my ass off. Like, I was just like, no. But yeah, unfortunately the footage was corrupted and I had no way of retrieving it, unfortunately. So I do apologize that it had to be cut. I just didn't realize it froze up. Do you think Jingle All the Way is the most underrated Christmas movie? No, but I think it's very much a good Christmas movie. Like, I know a lot of people when it came out, oh, this is awful, this is terrible, this is like a big Home Alone ripoff. I mean, it is a Home Alone ripoff. I mean, it's Fox cashing in, and it's Chris Columbus producing it. I guarantee the whole pitch of Jingle All the Way was Home Alone with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Brilliant! Like, that was the concept. And I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, especially right now when we see all the craziness of Black Friday. I think Jingle All the Way is a great fucking film. I watched it again recently, and it's so goddamn funny. But again, thank you, GT is Reborn, for coming in, man. Guys, if you guys go subscribe to his channel, him and I did the review of Hook. Great reviewer. He could really use some support and stuff right now. He's almost at 2,000 subs, I think. Are you there yet, man? Let me know. Till he comes back, he should be accompanied by the pizza theme. The game. Pizza time. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, the memes. I'll say this about No Way Home and the whole marketing of it. Spider fans, y'all are insane. Like, and I thought Star Wars fandom was crazy in terms of just anticipating a film. You guys are setting yourself up for another Phantom Menace if it doesn't live up to your fan fiction. That's the problem. It's just, y'all are nuts. Like, the way it's marketed, the way the leaks come out and shit, y'all are pretty much following Jameson's, like, rule. Like, y'all are literally the online Daily Bugle. Like, y'all need a picture of Spider-Man. We all need those leaks. Like, is your boss Jameson? Because I feel like your boss is Jameson. But not only are y'all fucking crazy with this shit, but now it's gotten to the point that I have never seen a motion picture during the holidays be the top Christmas gift. Like, Lord of the Rings, people could go see that anytime they want. Star Wars, anytime they want. But when you literally have fans, ticket buyers, having street brawls and fights in shopping malls where movie theaters are just to get tickets for a Spider-Man movie, y'all cross the line. Like, this is going to get insane. Like, now I'm thinking, if this does not live up to expectations, and if certain people do not show up in this film, the theaters are going to be on fire. Like, I think this will be the last straw for motion pictures. Nobody's going to want to go to the theater again. Like, you really better hope that certain people show up in this film, because it's getting dangerous. The fact that people are literally fighting to the death over tickets, like they're going jingle all the way on this movie, scares me. Spider fans, y'all scare me. I'll say this though, I do want to maybe talk about at least the first Spider-Man. Like, that is something I do want to talk about, because I feel like what they're doing with this movie, minor spoilers, I think, just preconceptions. This is not just a sequel with the MCU. This is not just, just all these villains coming back and all this shit. I think this is just essentially a massive love letter and celebration of the film franchise. And why is that? Because next year will be the 20th anniversary of the first Spider-Man movie. Really think about that. The timing cannot become more sooner. I mean, honestly, had the pandemic continued and they actually pushed it back even further, I think releasing it in May, July 2022 would have actually benefited them with marketing, because then they could have celebrated as a 20th anniversary event. Like, to me, No Way Home is looking like the Forever Red of the Spider-Man movies. And I mean that in the most, good way. Like, this is a 20th anniversary movie. This is a movie celebrating the franchise, honoring the franchise, seeing where certain parts of the franchise have been for the last 20 years. Like, this is a celebration of that. And I think that's why people are going crazy. It's not just the fact it's a multi-crossover. It's not just the fact the multiverse has now been unlocked with film franchises. It's the fact that it's the 20th anniversary. And people are celebrating that 20th anniversary really fucking hardcore. So, kudos to Spider fans, but it's insane. I think even Star Wars fans are looking at you like, guys, you're taking this way too far. Like, holy shit! Like, we're about the Church of the Force, and we're about like lightsaber clubs and shit, but y'all are literally fighting over tickets. There's something wrong with you. Might want to get your spider senses checked, basically. So there's that. There's my rant on the Spider-Man stuff. Does anyone know how to see Phil Tippett's Mad God? Because it's one of those movies. Yeah, I want to see that. Like, I really want to see that. I just don't know if any theaters are going to play it. I'm going to probably look around locally, but I would love to see that film. Like, that looks great. Oh my god. Toby's 46. I mean, if you dump enough money, I'm pretty sure he would. I don't know. I really think there's a possibility that if this is probably going to make a lot of money, this will make billions. They're saying this is even going to top Endgame. How is that possible? But I don't know. Maybe I think there's potential to still get that off the ground. If they can bring back Luke Skywalker and Han Solo at 60, 70, whatever years old, they can do Spider-Man. Yep. Let's see. Trying to find a question here. What are you more excited to see make a return? Toby back as Spider-Man, possibly, or Michael Keaton? When it comes to basically next year being the year of the Batman, let's be honest, 2022 is going to be the year of the Batman. Do you know how many freaking pieces of content are coming out? You have the new Batman animated series. You have the radio dramas. You have the Batman with Robert Pattinson, and then you have the Flash. Now, a lot of people are excited because we're getting a Flash movie. No, you're not. You're getting Tim Burton's Batman 3. That's really what it is. This is Batman. This is going to be Batman 3. And that's why I'm excited. I am going into it ignoring it as a Flash movie. I'm going into it just to see Batman. Just to see the Michael Keaton back in the suit. Because literally looking back on the franchise, Michael Keaton to me is still the superior Batman. I'll say this too, is that is one of my big productions for next year because it has been on hold for 2 years. I want to finally discuss the Tim Burton movies. And we have this big production for it. We have this big, massive event where, we go to Gotham and all this stuff. I don't want to make too many promises, but that is going to be one of our goals next year, is to definitely start production on our Batman retrospective on the Burton movies, because that is something I do want to talk about. So that will be coming soon, hopefully. Let's see here. I don't know what that is, Tyler, so I cannot answer that. Yeah, I know about the Tyrannosaurus. I can't even pronounce what's as Ray faces and Queen call it. The Terry Waltz it. It's a Terry Waltz it. That's what I'm gonna call it. Yeah, I know about it. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do it. Is it going to be like the design I always saw? Probably not, but let's see what they do here. See, people, I'll say this, Reeves is the God. People say, some people say, you know, Batman 89 is a bad Batman adaptation. I know why. Because, you know, the fact that the Joker killed Batman's parents and Batman kills him at the end. First of all, that part about Joker killing Batman's parents, I agree that is a bit of a misstep. But in terms of the Joker dying, from what I heard about the new comic, Batman 89, which I do want to read, I've heard rumors that may not be the case. There have been rumors that the Joker might be alive. So let's see what they do with that when it comes to the Flash movie. But yeah, so I don't know, but when it comes to the Joker killing Batman's parents, I'll say this about the film. I think the reason they did it, it's not just Tim, and I know it was Tim's idea, and I know the screenwriter, I can't remember what his name is, he didn't want to do it. Like, he really didn't want to do it. And oh my God, did I freeze? Did I freeze? Can you guys still see me? Okay, oh God, did I freeze? I hope I didn't freeze. Hang on, let me. Okay, so for some reason I froze. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys still hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Hello? I don't know what happened. I think we crashed. I think we froze. Okay, yeah, you can hear me? Okay, so my monitor froze for some reason. You know, I'm gonna try something. You know what? I will be right back. Let me try something here. Hang on. Let me try resetting it. I hope this doesn't take me down. Hang on. Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna just keep going. We just might be frozen. But if you guys can hear me. So when it comes to you know what I'll do? I'll just pull up fucking GIFs just so I can describe what I'm talking about. So hang on a sec. Batman 89. I don't know, I'll just pull these up because this will make things a little bit easier. So y'all know what the fuck we're talking about. Oh, this sucks. I'm sorry, guys. This stinks. That of course my camera crashes. God damn it. Let's see if I can use this to my advantage. Shit. Yeah, we're going through some technical issues. Things are going through technical issues. I do apologize. See, can I share a screen? Let's see, a window tab. Let's try this. Okay. Let's try this. Maybe this will work. Okay, can you guys see this? Does this work? Hopefully. Okay. So yeah, when it comes to Batman 89, I'll just leave this up here. When it comes to Batman 89, basically the fact that it was Tim's idea to do the Joker killing Batman's parents, that I think was more of just the fact that they didn't know about sequels and franchises at the time. So what they did was they just said, let's just simplify it. That's the reason why they did it. They simplified the concept of the story. Instead of just being Joe Chill, it was just the Joker. And I think at the time that was a good call because you don't know if these are going to necessarily work as a film. Like, they don't know if they're necessarily going to work in terms of a movie. So they just had to simplify it. But in terms of it being a bad adaptation, no, I think it pretty much laid the groundwork, if anything. Like, it is, I still love the visual aspect. I think it's the best looking Gotham. I think it has the best looking suit, one of the best looking suits. I mean, I like the return suit a little more, but 89's a good start. There's a lot of that stuff going on. So personally for me, I think Batman 89 really did manage to like be a good movie. Like, I know people don't think it's a bad adaptation, but there's that. So yeah. No, I'll just leave this on here because fuck it. Unless I change the logo. Hang on a sec. Can I change the logo? Yes, I can. I'll just leave it like this so you guys can see something visually. So, oh, are we back? Oh my God, can you guys see me? Are we back? Are we back? Can you all see me? Can you all see me? Because I think my computer just returned it. I think we fixed it. I think we fixed it. Let me know if you can see me. Hope to Christ you can. Anything? Yes. Okay. Okay, we're back. We're back. A dinosaur story. Okay. Okay. So we're good. All right. So there we go. Right there. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Do you have any plans to watch any other Rumiko Takahashi works besides Inuyasha? Not really. I want to finish up Inuyasha. I'm going to start season 5 relatively soon. I'm going to start working on the vlogs for those so I have them ahead of time. But in terms of, you know, like the other works, like Rama, One Half, I have heard really great things about. I do want to discuss someday, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do them as vlogs, but yeah. Let's see here. Did you know Roland Emmerich is making... I know about Moonfall. You know what? I'll say this. Roland Emmerich and the Wachowskis, I really don't like their movies. That's why I made a whole video about The Matrix. Like, I do not care for these guys. I'll say this about The Matrix movies and the Wachowskis. They're hack writers. They're hack writers. Like, I never found their movies too engaging. I never found their movies interesting. I never found their writing to be that deep, dark thing that people like. I just can't get it. I don't get it. I can't get into it. I do not like the Wachowskis' writing. I think they are hack writers. I don't like Roland Emmerich as a director. I don't like him as a director. It's the same schlock over and over again. I hate Independence Day. I'm sorry if y'all like it. I do not like Independence Day. The only movie Roland Emmerich made that I can kind of stomach, even though it's not this movie's trademark, even though it's just a giant monster movie, I like the Godzilla movie they made. It's not Godzilla, hands down, it's not Godzilla, but it's a decent, fun monster movie. That is the only one I can stomach from Roland Emmerich. Everything else just sucks. The Matrix sucks. Independence Day sucks. I just cannot do it. I cannot do their movies. So if Warner Brothers got Roland Emmerich to direct and the Wachowskis to write, if Roland Emmerich and I'm going to quote the cinema snob here. If Roland Emmerich and the Wachowskis fucked, I'm pretty sure it would give birth to the Antichrist. That's how bad I don't like their movies at all. Like, I think they're hack schlock crap. Honest to God. You know, like, oh, fuck, I really, like, even the, like, I'll say this, Midway I haven't seen, Huey, but I hated The Patriot. Not just because it was just a big fucking Braveheart ripoff, but I would even say it's more historically inaccurate than Braveheart was. Because there are some, I'm really, when it comes to historical films, I mean, in some cases, I know why they go completely inaccurate, because they want it for dramatic effect. I totally understand that. But there's some stuff, like, especially I've noticed this with American history, you can't really fuck with. Americans are very sensitive about that shit. Like, in The Patriot, when frickin' Jason Isaacs, Captain Hook motherfucker, burns down those people, that did not happen. Yes, I watch history buffs. Yes, I do. That guy is on point. That did not happen. Same thing with Pearl Harbor. Hate Pearl Harbor. Hate that fucking film. Granted, the action scenes, the scene itself, like all the stuff with the ships and the Navy, that stuff is amazing. That stuff is great. But it's somebody brought this up earlier in the stream. What's a good movie that's ruined by one scene? It's simple. The battle scene in Pearl Harbor is amazing, but it's ruined by the fact that the Japanese shot up the hospitals and innocent people when they were specifically ordered not to do that. They were specifically ordered to just take down the military, not go after innocents. But they had to do that because, we have to make them evil. And, it's like, look, Nostalgia Critic made a point in his review that is not okay. That is not okay. But I'll say this. Braveheart, not a good historically accurate film. It really isn't. I love the movie to death. I love that fucking film. It's the best thing Mel Gibson ever made. But it is historically inaccurate. You want to know why? Because it's not about William Wallace. It's Braveheart and it's not Braveheart. It's not William Wallace. It's Robin Hood in Scotland. That's the movie. It's basically a hard R Scottish version of Robin Hood. Now, in history, Wallace was actually, pretty much like kind of told as sort of the Scottish version of Robin Hood. Hell, Robin Hood and Braveheart are only 100 years apart from each other. Robin Hood was in 1190, or Robin of Locksley or Robin Longstride was in 1190. Braveheart was in 1280, like 100 years, less than 100 years later. So hell, I would be one of those people who would make a fan fiction. What if Braveheart and Robin Hood teamed up? Like, make that movie. I don't give a fuck. But the thing is like, Braveheart was just Robin Hood in kilts and no archery. Well, they did have archery, but like, I know in actual history, and there's the part that's also another thing. I think what they were trying to do was they said, we want to make a Robin Hood movie because that Prince of Thieves movie with Alan Rickman and Kevin Costner made $1 billion, but we want to do it in Scotland. Well, okay, well, what are our limitations? Well, we have this guy named William Wallace. Okay, who was he in history? Well, he was an outlaw. That's Robin Hood. You can't do that. Well, he was technically in history an archer. That's Robin Hood. You can't do that. Well, okay, fuck it. Let's make it Robin Hood. Well, can we have him shoot bows? No, that's too much like Robin Hood. Okay, let's give him a girlfriend named Marion, because that's in the poem. No, that's too close to Maid Marian. Okay, so let's call her Marin. Brilliant. Doesn't even sound a thing like Maid Marian. What about an evil king, a Prince John? Well, we can't have a prince, so let's have a king. Okay, Longshanks. Good. Okay, what about oh, I don't know. Does he have like a band of merry men? Yeah, they did that. They gave Braveheart a group of merry men, and they're out skipping along through fucking Scotland Sherwood Forest. It's like, it's freaking Robin Hood. It's the story of Robin Hood, but in Scotland. And Braveheart only shoots one fucking arrow. Maybe one or two bow and arrow shots. But in history, he was an actual archer. It's very complicated. It's a very complicated bit of history. But do I like the movie? Yeah. Love Braveheart. Do I think it's historically accurate? Fuck yeah. Do I think there's a lot of continuity errors? Absolutely. But that's a kick-ass. I think Braveheart, if anything, is a good fuck yeah movie. Like, that is a movie where you want to scream, fuck yeah, let's go. Like, and say that's one of the most brutal movies ever made. Like, the thing is with Mel Gibson, he does like to make his movies super duper violent. Like, I saw Hacksaw Ridge. That Japanese battle scene was just, holy shit, that was brutal. That was almost like itchy. That was like an itchy and scratchy cartoon. I'll say this though, like, I don't like the passion that he made. I did not like the passion, but I'll give credit. It is one of the goriest, like one of the most horrific, goriest films I've ever seen in terms of history. Like, that is a hard film to sit through, but not a fan of that. But Mel Gibson, I only like two of his movies. I like Braveheart and I like Chicken Run. That's it. So there's my big rant about medieval history and shit and historical accuracy. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, that King Arthur movie that I think Bruckheimer made. Did not like that movie. I did not like that movie. I know it was trying to be more historically accurate. I did not like the fact that Arthur was in Rome. I'm sorry. For me, King Arthur, the definitive King Arthur movie, there are four. There are four definitive King Arthur movies. No, GT's Reborn, it's not Legend of the Sword, fuck that movie. But there are four movies that are, to me, the definitive King Arthur films. I really like Quest for Camelot. I do like that film. I love, there's two that I consider a double feature. First Night with Sean Connery as King Arthur. And then the sequel to that, which I consider canon, Dragonheart. Dragonheart is technically a King Arthur movie. Why? It takes place in the Arthurian mythology. The Knights of the Old Code are the descendants of the Knights of the Round Table. It's the same shit. Like, they even go to Avalon. They go to the resting place of King Arthur. They find the Round Table and shit. Like, it's all King Arthur stuff. To me, those are the two best double feature King Arthur movies. And then the best one, by far, because I think I've come to appreciate it more as an adult, I love the shit out of Excalibur. Excalibur is awesome. In fact, As y'all know, I have my fucking sword collection. And what's a sword collection without Excalibur? I have Excalibur. I have it in my possession. I have Excalibur. This thing is awesome. It is got tape on it because I bought it like used. It's really busted. But yes, I have Excalibur. I feel like Coach McGurk. It's like, no, this is an exact replica of Excalibur. It has magical powers. Look, I'm not gonna hit you with the sword. I have Excalibur. What is a sword collection without Excalibur? But I love the shit out of that movie, the 80s film. I really think it is the definitive King Arthur film. And I'll say this too. I heard Zack Snyder's doing a King Arthur movie, and he has gone on record in saying Excalibur is one of his favorite films. So I expect good quality, Mr. Snyder. I expect a remake of Excalibur in the style of 300, in like the cinematography. I want the same look as Excalibur, but I want freaking 300 levels of epic. I'm just saying. I think that is a good place for him to go. I want to see what he does with King Arthur. I do not want some dumb shit. I want traditional King Arthur. I want the sword and the stone. I want Merlin. I want Sir Lancelot. I want, Sir Galahad even. Like, I want the actual a retelling of the myths of King Arthur, but not as a franchise, just a solid 1, maybe 4-hour flick, and I'll be happy. Give me that, and I'll be happy. Yeah, and also, I know we all want an original score and shit. Fuck it, bring back Old Fortuna. They give me God, like, I want that. I want that freaking song again in my. To me, that is the definitive theme to King Arthur. So there's my rant on King Arthur. Okay, I think we're gonna start wrapping this up soon. DM Production says thoughts on the upcoming Chicken Run sequel. The fact they didn't bring back half of the original cast, I do not care. I want to see what they do with it. Are they doing it in stop motion? Because if they're doing it in CGI, it's just going to be trash. I love the first one, but I don't even know how you can do a second one. How do you do a second one? Do they go back to the farm? Do they end up on another farm? Do they have to escape again? That was the whole point of the first one. The first one was just Great Escape with chickens. So it's like, how do you do that again? I don't know how, but I'm really kind of like, I don't know if that's going to do well. Let's see here. What are your favorite prehistoric animals aside from dinosaurs? I like the mammoth. I like the saber-toothed tiger. I like that weird carnivore bird thing I saw in Walking with Beasts. I can't remember what that was. All right, so let's answer 3 more questions. Would I review... Oh, is that for Huey? Because somebody asked me this, if I would do the animated Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I was like, they made a cartoon? I felt it's funny because I've actually been on a bit of a Narnia kick. I rewatched the trilogy, the Disney Fox trilogy of Narnia, the Walden Media trilogy, as I put it. And honestly, they still hold up. I don't know how Netflix is going to top that, and it's a real shame they did not continue that franchise, that version. I thought about even talking about that at some point, but maybe not the anime one, not the BBC one. Something down the line, perhaps. So that's question number 1. Holy shit, the questions are going by like crazy. Hang on a sec, guys. Hang on a sec. Holy crap. Okay, this one is interesting. What are your thoughts on Lego Titanic that has 9,000 pieces? Will you pass? You'll pass on it, won't you? Lego has not. I've been kind of lost interest in, aside from Castles and Pirate stuff. But funny enough, looking at that Titanic set, I would not pay what they're asking for. Lego's just got, that's the problem. They're overpriced. And it's funny because years ago, like a decade ago, before I even started Kong, my remake, I was doing those movie reenactments, like those redos with Lego. My next one was going to be Titanic. That was going to be my next big one. But honestly, I think by that point, I had actually lost interest. So I kind of just stopped making those. And that project got canceled. But with this Lego Titanic thing, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to see a lot of fan-made animated medias with that set. So let's see what happens. I don't know if I'll ever obtain that set in my lifetime, but it is a nice piece. All right, let's get one more question in here. I'm just gonna see which one has the most interest. Okay, this one, I'll just say this. Lego must make a set of King Kong. GVK is already popular, starting making sets. Funny you should mention that, Shin Ghidorah. I've been actually making my own custom sets. I can't show them right now because they're in the other room. But that is something that I would love to see Lego do. I know there have been ideas and stuff, but I'm not the biggest. I think the sets look cool, but I don't like the way they did Kong figures. I think Kong could be done a little better. So yeah, I would love to see some Lego King Kong sets at some point. But there you go. And then I'll just answer this one Donnie has. Thoughts on the Disney Pocahontas? I think it's historically inaccurate as fuck. I think they really tried to Disneyfy an absolute tragedy. I have seen Razorblade's video on it. Guys, go check that video out. It's fantastic. But yeah, I just did not. I mean, the first one's okay if you don't count it as a piece of history. I think the cast is pretty solid. I think the music's actually really good. But I'll say this. I kind of want a I kind of like the sequel more. I like the second one a little more. And it's not, and the reason I like it more is not just because there's a bit more of an interesting story and they take chances with it, but it's also much more of an action flick. Because I felt the biggest issue with the first Pocahontas, it was extremely anticlimactic. Extremely anticlimactic. I get what they were going for. I understand, oh, we want to make it a love story, but we also want to make it like one of those Oscar love stories, those big grand epics. We want our Dances with Wolves. We want our cake and eat it too. But at the because the thing is, Pocahontas came out, was the film that they did after The Lion King. And it was pushed back because of The Lion King, because everybody wanted to move to Pocahontas. Nobody thought Lion King would work. Lion King did work. It did really well. And to follow it up with this, with such an anticlimactic ending, that the last film you did had this big epic battle, which is massive. It was awesome. And you don't continue that trend? Quite frankly, honestly, when it comes to animated films, I'd rather take the big epic battle than the big fucking dance at the end that they have been doing for 20 years since Shrek. Shrek has simultaneously ruined animated films. So I think I was really disappointed with the first one being just this no big battle, no big fight scene. I get it. Well, we can't have anybody die. We can't have people die. We can't have people getting hurt because then we get a PG-13. But at the same time, it was so anticlimactic. In fact, what was the movie they did the following year? The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And that made up for all the problems I had with Pocahontas. Like, Hunchback is my favorite animated Disney movie. That is something I do want to discuss, is the first Hunchback, because that is a damn good movie. Especially over time as an adult. But when it comes to the sequel, why I like it more is that it's not anticlimactic. In fact, they just go all Pirates of the Caribbean at the end of that movie, and it's awesome. Like, that's what I literally was, when I saw it on direct video when it came out, I was like, that's what I've been wanting to see. That's what I wanted from the end of the first one, was just, I craved the big battles. I craved the fight scenes. Like, that duel with Radcliffe and John Smith, who gives a fuck? Like, look, historical accuracy has been tossed out the window to begin with. But when you have this fucking duel, and John Smith is cracking one-liners, he's not voiced by Mel Gibson, they actually got his brother. It's great. It's fun. And then here he comes on the horse, and it's like, oh no, it's John Smith. I thought he was dead. I'm the ghost of John Smith. Run for your lives. It's like, that's hilarious. The fact that they did not do that in the first one is why I just do not like that movie. It was, I know they're both not technically on a historical level, and exploiting it is terrible. But as a film, to follow up, like, disappointing. So there is my response to Pocahontas. Will I ever cover it? Probably not. Blade Razor's review was actually really fucking good. I'd highly recommend checking that out. So that's it for this live stream, guys. I have to cut this short because I do have to take off for the next few days. I got a dentist appointment tomorrow. I'm not actually making that as an excuse. Like, I actually do have a dentist appointment. God help me. But thank you all so much for watching. Please, if you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, don't forget to support our Patreon. $1 more will get you access to early access to our content, as well as other special features. And also, don't forget to send us fan mail. You can sow questions, gifts, donations. We even have now our Amazon wish list if you want to send us something for the fuck of it. You can sow at this address: BigJackFilms, PO Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G 1R0. Really appreciate you guys sending us stuff in. We're still going to work out when our new fan mail box is coming in, but for now, that's still the same thing. And of course, tune in tomorrow, maybe, for an opening night that for a movie that I actually just really was really hard to sit through, and I would not recommend it. I would not recommend it for people who like escapism in movies and don't like real world shit, especially right now. Just bear that in mind when you watch it, which means it might not do well, but yeah, it's a Patreon request. Really appreciate you guys going to check that out, and then tune in Friday. It's not a trailer, but we got one more storyline compilation sort of video coming out Friday, and you'll see what it is. So until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, saying sorry this wasn't much in terms of GVK stuff, and I wanted to give you guys Q&A, but hopefully there will be more to come soon. I'm going to continue working on it and writing away, and I will see you guys later. Take it easy.